Hello, it's Jay here again. Welcome to another video. So, in this lesson, we're coming back to the opponent AI, and we're going to begin at the top here. And I'm just going to create these variables under the vector3 for the players and opponent's position. We'll create another private vector3 underscore, and let's give this a naming convention of position difference. We'll close that off. Into the comments defines the difference in position between player and opponent. And this next variable I'm going to make public, and it's going to be of type float underscore, let's call this position difference, and we'll just say modifier. I'm going to make that equal to 2.0f, close the line off. And this is the reason why we're making this public, because you will need to experiment with this value. Defines the modifier value for the position difference, and we'll enter there. Let's now come down near the bottom of the script, and I'll actually put this under where we update opponent's position and play position functions. So private void update position difference. Again, we'll open and close brackets, we'll open and close again inside the brackets. Let's just copy and paste a debug line in there and copy in the naming convention for the function. And we're going to say if open and close brackets, inside the brackets underscore player1 dot, and we want transform dot position dot x is less than underscore opponent dot transform dot position dot x again. And we'll break this up for commenting. If player one's x-axis is less than opponent's x-axis value, we'll come to the next line, we'll say underscore position difference equals, we'll open and close brackets again, underscore opponent position, so I think we use position, yep. Opponent position minus, and we want the player's position. Let's break this up for commenting again. Into the comments, we'll say then set position difference to equal, and we just need to close that line off, and we'll just say the opponent's, I'll just use POS for position minus the player's position. And we'll just copy all of that if block. We'll paste it in below. We'll change it to a greater than sign. We'll put it equals in there actually. Than or equal to. And then we just need to switch this equation around. So now it's player's position minus the opponent's. And I'll just switch this around in the comments. So this code is to ensure that the opponent doesn't try jumping to attack the player if it's too close. So now let's come to the void update, and we'll call that function update position difference, open and close brackets, close the line off, and the same comment we've used before, function, call function, and we'll just copy and paste that naming convention in there. So let's save that off, and let's come down to, we want the advance on player function. So in this first if statement, inside the brackets, we can actually copy and paste one of these lines where we set the state. Let's paste that in. We're going to change it to walk towards the player, and we'll swap that out in the comments. But in this state, we're going to say if open and close brackets, position difference dot x-axis, so dot x is greater than or equal to the underscore position difference modifier, and let's put that into the comments first actually. So we'll say if, so position diff x-axis is greater than or equal to the modifier. Let's come to the line below, and we'll copy and paste that function in. And we'll actually enter again. We'll say else, we'll enter, and we'll paste that line in again. So let's just tidy this all up. Now the first one, if it's greater, we can jump towards the player. So let's change that in the first if. We'll paste that in. Else, we'll still walk towards the player. And we will have code later on for if you want the enemy to jump over the player in order to attack. So that's going to be separate. So let's have a look here. So you can do this or not. I'm just going to change this to advance on player in the initialize function. and just so we can see it working, so let's start this up, and as always we'll let it run through.
Round 1. Fight.
So as you can see, it jumped towards the player when we began, which is correct because it's actually a distance of 2 there, and that's because I changed it in the initialize. So we'll work on some more code later. As you can see, it jumped. If we actually come and we change the position difference modifier to 1. Wait, that should still jump. No, 1's correct.
Round 1. Fight.
Oh, sorry. Hopefully you could just see it actually walking. Let's just come back. It did actually work then. It just started to move, but I'd already hit close. But we'll change it to advanced on play. It was running through anyway, just for testing. Let's just go back through it again.
Round 1. Fight.
So we jumped that time. And let's have a look. That should actually be bigger. Let's change that to 3. We'll just let it run through again.
Round 1. Fight.
So as you can see, it's walking towards the player now. Don't worry about it being in the air. That's because we've gone from the initialized and obviously the opponent idle we would have called the gravity, but we've missed that out just for testing. Now we will have to work on some code for when it jumps and it lands on top of the player, which is quite easy. It's just to modify the position slightly, just to make it, both the player and the opponent just move apart. That's fairly easy, but we'll keep going on. We'll leave it here for this lesson. Obviously we've got to do the retreat function. We've got to have the opponent actually stop when it's in range of the player, and then obviously begin to attack. So still lots to do, but as you can see, we're getting some movement in the opponent AI, and hopefully we can get some attacks working fairly soon, and it will start to feel much more like a real game. So as I said, we'll leave it here for this lesson. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.